All right. Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? All right. Just waiting for you guys to hop on. Let me give you guys a minute. All right. I hope you're having a great morning. Great rise of the day. I'm still working on my power of my words for this pleasantries for in the morning because literally I have been saying GM for all of my life and just realized that it wasn't the right thing to say. So, how are you doing on this amazing Wednesday? I remember years ago when I used to come on and do my lives, on social media, I used to do Wellness Wednesdays. And so I would come on and speak on something about wellness. But I kind of flip-flop between Wellness Wednesday and just Wisdom Wednesday. So I'm going to share with you on today a little bit about my how I found my voice. Because you hear me speak quite a bit when we have these laid-back conversations about my lack of confidence back in the day. How I wouldn't move unless everything was pretty much picture perfect. I was not confident in myself, whether it was the sound of my voice, whether it's the way that I look on camera, clothes, body type, body shape, complexion. It was a whole lot of different things. So, as you guys come in, say hello, say hi, and let me know where you're tuning in from. And make sure to hit that like button so I know that you're here. When you come in the room, hit the like, hit the thumbs up, and hit that subscribe button if you have not hit that subscribe button yet, because we have goals, baby, over here. And once we start reaching those goals, hey, we have SP Gardening in the building. And why not, you guys, follow each other? Because who knows? We all fam over here. We all family. All right. So, a lot of people saying, well, Tina, like I said before, depending upon when you met me, some people call me T, for Dr. T. Some people call me Coach Tina or Coach. Some people call me Tina. It just depends on what part of, when did you meet me, that kind of thing. We have an hola, so we know we got some Espanol in the building with Antonio. We have Black Pearl said hi. SP Gartner said, are you from? Yes, I'm from South Carolina. I know you hear that southern twang. I know you hear that southern twang. Come on, y'all, hit that thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. Oh, really? You like my voice? Woo! Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna tell you something too. It was very difficult for me to accept compliments back in the day, and I still have to work on it. I love giving them, and being positive and giving compliments to people, but it was very hard for me to accept compliments back in the day. Like someone say, "Oh, you did a great job. Oh, you pretty. Oh, I like your voice. Oh, I love your outfit." I mean, I would like deflect the compliment and put it on them. So, for example, someone says, like someone just now, Black Pearl said they like my voice, right? I would say, oh, well, if we were in person, I say, well, I like something about you. I say to deflect. And I don't know why I used to do that. I guess because at that time I didn't feel worthy, right? And so now I'm changing. I'm saying thank you. I appreciate it. Carlos said hello. Woo. See, we have everybody from all over the four corners of the earth. I can't pronounce that, but said hello, good evening. Goat said, where you from? Goat 11, South Carolina. We have Timothy in the building all the way from France. Welcome. We have D-Man in the building. Said, what's good, mama? Antonio, ja. Okay. Uh, whoa, we have people from. That's what I love about um being on a international platform. You meet people from all over the world, and that's the beauty about CTR. I mean, we are literally all over the world. Brandon asked me, do you want to come to Alaska? It's cold. I'm southern. I don't know if I could do Alaska. Like, I got an invitation to come to Alaska, and I know they have a lot of opportunities in Alaska. You can get land. I don't know if it's free, but it's very inexpensive. They have jobs over there that pay very well, because I have someone that I just met that was like, you can come over here and really do some good things over here, because they have so many different programs, not only for you, but for your children and stuff like that. Well, I have 2 adults now, both of my kids out of school now, because my baby just graduated. So I'm getting used to my son being my baby. My baby is my son. I'm getting used to him being grown. Like, he's getting ready. He getting ready to go to work right now. Like, it's just like, because in my household, I don't force entrepreneurship. I teach them about it, and I let them find their own path. I know I was raised up in a time where your parents said, they like, this is what you gonna do, this. But I wanted my kids to have free will within bounds, because if I see them going in the wrong direction, of course, as a mom, I'm like, wait a minute, okay, I know you want to be out independent, but that right there, it ain't nothing good coming from doing it that way. And they choose to listen or not, but they're pretty good. They're pretty good young adults. I need to change my lingo, young adults. And so it's different now that I have 2. So I have one, my oldest, she just turned 20 this month. She works for the company. She is my executive personal assistant, and she is fantastic. Let me tell you something. Hey, thank you guys for the 10 likes. We have 96 people in the building right now. 7 minutes in. Go ahead and hit that like button. So my daughter, the shy one, extremely shy, don't really like to be in big social environments. She joined me with the entrepreneurship, and she is my handles all that kind of stuff for me, and it's good, because when you have a business, you want to have people that you trust that are handling your stuff. I have a team, but to have somebody in your family that you trust, more than one, I'm indeed grateful for it, right? So anywho, so she works for the company. She's an EP. And my son, my son is pretty much on a project-based situation. So he will come in, because he's real good with tech. He does the tech stuff. So he'll come in on projects and work on different projects in the midst of him working his own passion, his own job, because he wanted to see how it feels, because all his life he worked for us, right? So he wanted to see how it feels to work for somebody else. So I respect that. And if my daughter want to do that, I let them do that too. I just say, listen, just make sure you still available for some projects for your mama. So they're pretty cool with that. So my daughter, 20, she is she's my EP, amazing executive producer. Like, she runs things. That girl is the bomb.com. And then my son, he's very good with tech, electronics, building stuff, all that good stuff like that. Which he's really good with his hands and his brain, dealing with like techie stuff, video editing, creation of videos, content creation, social media placements, all that behind the scenes stuff. He's very good with that. So right now I have him on a couple projects, because we are looking to redo my office for season 11 when I'm taping. So right now he's building out my shelving and all that stuff that I want. So even though he's working, he still make time for his mama and do some things, you know. So I'm grateful. Okay. Brandon said, I would like to hear you say, oh, more often. I don't know what you're talking about. I need a youngin in my life. I don't know. I'm so happy that my children are grown. I don't know what to do. I'm happy, but it also feel like a little bit of loss because I'm not used to having young adult children. So it feels kind of strange having a 20-year-old and an 18-year-old that's already working and all that stuff like that. So it's just different. And it happens so fast. I remember my grandma and my aunties, they would tell me when my kids were smaller, they was like, enjoy this because it goes really, really fast. And when you are a mom in the moment and you got toddlers running around and they're getting into everything and you're trying to figure out how to manage being a wife, being a mom, being a community person, a volunteer, all the things, right? Then your own person, you ain't thinking about this is going to go by fast. You're thinking about God just help me make it through the day because these kids is climbing the wall. They doing all this. And so now that I'm out of the toddler stage, baby stage, almost completely out of teenage stage, because now he's officially graduated from high school and an adult and working, I get it. So now I tell moms the same thing that they told me, but the moms don't get it. But they'll get it later because you're just so busy trying to just make it through the day because there's so many things you have to do, and fathers as well, that you don't think about treasuring those moments when they're tiny like that, right? You're just thinking about getting through the day and then it does go really, really fast. It goes really, really fast. Okay. Thank you. I need to talk with a glasses company because I want to get some more frames. We have Afghanistan in the building. Afghanistan. D-Man said, you want to come to the tropics? Of course, one day. Not right now because your girl tired. Yeah, that's the beauty of people. He said he liked my forehead. You know, I had to go through some things, honey, to be able to love my forehead. Let me see. Last time I was talking to you guys, I was hungry. I said, before I even turn on this side, y'all gonna be seeing me eat. One moment, I'm gonna look at the messages in a few minutes. Give me a minute. Because I'm literally working at the same time. What's the book? The Power of Podcasting. My #1 best-selling book, award-winning book. This book has received 4 awards. It launched in 2022, and every single year thereafter, it received an award for something. Like Amazon, it was on the bestseller list. Then it went to Book Authority, winner for the #1 best book to read on podcasting for 2023. And this year, we won top author award for this book. And so I was going to go through chapter 1 at some point on this video with you on this book, so that if you ever thought about starting a podcast, you want to start a podcast, you can purchase this book. Because we're getting ready to do an update. No, or we're either going to do an update or another series of this book, because we really want to include the AI part of this, so that you guys can really understand how that you can leverage AI and all this other stuff. And it's so many great opportunities that have expanded in regards to monetization of your podcast or content, that we want to add that, or either do another version or update. Someone said, how old your son? He's 18. Someone said, I don't understand English, but I like it. What she says. Oh, I'm very animated naturally when I speak. And so I'm very expressive. People tell me I make a lot of facial expressions. Now, I'm not even aware of all the let me just say this right here. I'm not aware of all the facial expressions that I make because it's natural. That's why it's very hard for me to be in certain environments, especially when I'm not feeling the conversation, because it's all over my face. I'll be like, especially when I know that I don't agree with something someone's saying. I don't have a filter. Like, I'm working on that. My image consultants, my PR people, they were like, Taylor, you need to work on your resting face. I'm like, but it's BS. I'm like, they know they lying. I'm like, okay. So I'm really working on it, because people see my face expression. Some people just watch my videos with the volume down, because they say I do so many expressions and movement and up and down and laughing, and I do a lot. I don't know that I'm doing it, okay, honestly, because that's who I am. I have always been this way ever since I was a little girl. Very expressive, doing gestures and all this stuff like that. Very expressive on my face. Just now, someone offered me an opportunity to be a face model. I didn't know that existed. I mean, really, a face model? I mean, now I don't think I'm ugly by no means. I feel like I look good. I'm not, but I don't feel like I'm a face model. I feel like a face model should be somebody like Halle Berry. Those people that Tyra Banks face, right? So I'm like, you want me to be a part of a campaign for my face? For a luxury line? Like, how that gonna work? Like, because I'm very I'm the everyday girl, right? I'm the girl that you'll see sitting on the front porch, right? I'm the girl that you'll see with the cutoff shorts on, with the flip-flops or the Converses, with the t-shirt. I am not the girl sitting on the porch fully made up. That's not me on a regular day. So I'm like, how that gonna work if it's a luxury line? Because that's not who I am, like, in everyday settings. So I don't know. I may do it, I may not. Because sometimes I don't do things like it just don't fit. Like, I'm like, and how, like, you're gonna be zooming in and zooming, like, what are you gonna be doing? Like, I don't even know. So I don't know. I just got in my inbox today, and I'm like, bye Black Pearl, thank you for popping in. Thank you for, look at there. Frederick said, this is your reminder to drink some water. Thank you. This is MCABW, Men Can't Always Be Wrong podcast mug. So go check out their show on CTRMediaNetwork.com, and just go to their website and check out. They have a whole merch line. Men Can Always Be Wrong. I look Indian. Thank you for the compliment. Okay. Thank you. Said that I am gorgeous. Thank you. It's nice. It's nice to hear, because I have on no makeup. All right. So, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. I'm going to go over the first chapter, or some of the first chapter on this book. So, I'm going to go over the chapter name. So, of course, we have the part where I'm dedicating the book. You can read it. Acknowledgement, forward, a little bit about me as an author, the introduction. Chapter 1 talks about what you need to know before you start a podcast. Many people say, I want to start a podcast. I want to start a podcast. I want to start a podcast. But it's some things that you need to know before you start the podcast, right? Then I talk about tools for launching your podcast and your course. Then how to write a bio for yourself and your guests. How to write a script. Show notes for your podcast. How to book a podcast interview. How to organize your show by seasons and episodes. Podcast equipment. Pre-show. The power of podcasting. That's going to go real deep. That section. And then last, this book talks about how to protect your podcast. Because many of you, once you get started with your podcast and you start making income, you need to flip that podcast into an LLC or a nonprofit. However you want to do it. If your podcast is solely for the people, it's a community-driven thing, then maybe a nonprofit is good for you. But keep in mind, when you make something a nonprofit, you're going to have to bring other people into the situation. Like my dad said, the situation. You have to bring other people into it. So if you want to be a sole proprietor or a person that making all the decisions, do not make your show a nonprofit, because other people will have say-so into the development, the money, and everything that goes into your podcast. So I encourage people to kind of like do it in an LLC, because you remain more control. Now, I am not a lawyer. This is just for educational purposes only. And you have to do it your way. But I'm just going by personal experience from all over the years. And so, some things that you need to know before you start a podcast. You need to understand. Oh, let me go to the topic, because the topic of today is, how did I find my voice? Okay, in the world of social media, like I told you, I've been doing social media, creating social media content ever since 2009, right? Ever since 2009. And it has, really been an up and down road, because even though you go on social media in order to bring love and light, you have negative people who have no life, that only want to be negative. No matter how much positivity you put out, they just want to dim your light. And so I was very sensitive when I first started social media, because I didn't understand how mean and evil some people really are. And so I didn't get, when you are just being positive, why would it attract some people that really got some issues? Although the bulk of the people who followed me for all these years are genuinely amazing, fantastic people, but as you grow, as you scale up, as you develop and have more of a following, it incurs people that are just not that kind. Just, they wake up not with love on their mind or peace, or how can they make someone else's day better. They wake up with, how can I ruin somebody's day situation, right? Because they're just sad people. I pray for them and move on, because I realize that's an inward problem with them, not me. And so when people just rude for no reason, when people are just rude for no reason, when people just come at you and don't know you, that's a problem with them. And so I had to get used to that. And to be honest with you, it had me depressed when I first started in 2009. I really just did not. But my friends kept encouraging me. For those of you coming in, you're right. We do need to pray. But when my friends kept encouraging me, because they knew that a lot of people needed to hear what I had to say from my unique perspective, right? Because I've been through a lot of things at a young age, like having a stroke at 25, 26 years old, being partially paralyzed, having amnesia, being a new-time mom, and totally forgetting that I had my daughter. It was only 4 people that I remember: God, my mom, my dad, my husband. Everybody else, my brain was like, shoo. I didn't remember anything else. Now, I can remember scriptures, songs. I could, for the Bible. I can remember my parents. I can remember my childhood. I can remember my husband, my mom, and my dad. That was it. God, mom, dad, husband. I didn't even remember I had a child. And I couldn't walk. simple things like washing your face, feeding yourself, walking, talking, because I lost my ability to be able to talk. Being that person that always helped everybody else. So in that time, being that young, hi, hey Taylor. And so being that young and losing pretty much all of your mobility, all of your ability to be independent, and now you are succumb to, literally, I remember right now sitting here with you, the moment when I was sitting on the couch because my husband had to bathe me, wash me, feed me, everything. And I was a mom, 6 months, breastfeeding and everything. And literally, my daughter and I were both sitting on the chair because she was 6 months old. And we was waiting to get a bath because she's 6 months. So of course she depended on her parents to take care of her. So it fell on my mom, my dad, and my husband. And I'm sitting there waiting to be washed and fed because I couldn't do it. Because I was paralyzed from the waist down. And even though I wasn't paralyzed from the waist up, my extremities on the top was very weak. I could not, everything on my right side, which I'm right side dominant, everything on my right side did not work. It was like this, and my face was slumped. It was just a really, to be 25, 26 years old, to do 10 miles a day, walking and jogging, watching your food and what you eat. Because I always ate very healthy. I was very health conscious, right? Still is to a certain extent. But I didn't realize how many chemicals and stuff I would use in my house and all that. But that's a whole different situation. You guys going to have to watch one of my old videos where y'all can see where I kind of talk about the things that they don't tell you. And I was so depressed. Lord have mercy. I was so depressed. That was like one of the lowest points. But from that, I went on this journey. Like I said before, welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Hit the like button when you come in. Say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from so I can shout you out. I lost my voice. I have always been a servant leader, people driven, wanting the best for people, but I did not always give that type of attention to myself. And so that's why I tell people who are servant leaders, people who are community driven, people who want to make a positive impact, to want to make the world a better place. We tend to put all of our thoughts, attention, energy, finances, and whatever into everyone else, and we do not do the same for ourselves. And at some point, it will backfire on you because you can't keep doing all that for everybody else and then you don't do it for yourself. It's going to come a time where you're going to hit that crossroad and you're going to have to make a decision. I'm going to have to make a decision on how you're going to move forward from that point. And so I had to learn how to find my voice. Through different childhood things that happened, I did not like the way I look. I did not like the way I sound. I really did not like the way I sound. My Southern twang. I felt like it was a disservice. I thought about the Beverly Hillbillies and all that, even though I love watching the show, but I also think about how they people make fun of Southern people, right? You always the butt of every joke. And so I felt like I could not be successful if I was Southern or if I was my true self, Southern accent. I felt like I had to be a chameleon, meaning whatever room that I was in back in the day, 10 years, 15 years ago, I felt like I had to blend in. I had to articulate and change my dialect in order to be able to be accepted in the room, for them to be able to understand, for them to be able to accept, for me to be able to grow. I was not being my authentic self because I felt like who I wasn't good enough. And so you will notice in my previous videos from years ago, I spoke very slowly. because I was watching every single word that I said. You know, I was trying to hide my Southern dialect. Um, it had to be perfect. I mean, I would make sure that every word was right, because if it wasn't right, I would delete the video. It was so like, I have thousands of videos out, but I did more than that. Like, I would remove them, or I would take them down because of a lack of confidence and worrying about what people gonna say. That's why now I am so at peace in my 40s. I'm like, people like, how can you just be online and people say something negative, or they do something like, and you don't react, or you don't get upset like how most people would, especially when you know they're telling a lie. I said, because I've been doing this a long time, number one. And number two, I am comfortable with who I am. I know who I am. And with that, and I'm comfortable, and I really love me. The flaws, the great things about me, and all. That's why I can be in front of you with makeup on, with makeup off. I could, I speak, you will hear some of my words. You'll be like, what did she say? Because I have a heavy Southern dialect, and I'm proud of it now. And so it took me years to get to the point where I was comfortable with myself. All right, you guys, come on in the room, come on in the room, come on in the room, and hit that like button. Come on, smash it, smash it, smash it, smash it. Because we're going to get it up to 20 today, because we actually hit a goal where we hit 10. We hit 10. And so today I see we have 16, because y'all, you know what, you guys follow directions real good. So thank you. Intelligent people following CTR Media Network. Hey. So we have Pat in the building saying, G morning, grand rising, happy day. What's up? And make sure, oh, new subscriber, Candy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And so literally, that's why I come like this. Hit the like button, you guys, and hit the subscribe button. That's why I come to you guys and let you see all the different sides. Okay, yes, I am a podcaster. Yes, I am a TV producer of online TV. Yes, I am an educator and a public speaker, international public speaker, and a 4-time best-selling author. So I have a lot of accolades behind my name, but at the end of the day, the most important accolade that I have ever had was when my mom and daddy gave me my name, my first name, which is Tina. I am Tina at the beginning of the day. Take off the DR in the front and the letters behind. I am Tina at the end of the day. And knowing who I am and embracing my voice, I'm so happy. Okay. And so I just want you to be the same way, not being like me. I want you to be the best version of yourself and figure out why you do what you do, because all of us have these reasons why. Thank you, Pat. Thank you. We up to 18. Come on, let's get 20. We all have something or multiple things that we went through. Whether we're in our, young child, adolescents, teenagers, young adults, we all have things. We all lived through certain situations that cause us to respond and act and feel the way that we do internally about ourselves. No matter how amazingly awesome we look, we say, we feel, but deep, deep down in your core, how do you really feel about yourself? Do you love yourself? Are you at peace with yourself? How other people perceive you, do it affect you in a way that make you feel like you can't go on? And so my journey, I share my rawness of how I was with you in the present, because I want to just eradicate all of people. I want to uproot that negativity. I want to uproot people feeling like they're not good enough, they're not worthy. Because let me tell you something. When you was born and you took your first breath of air, and when the doctor slapped you on the behind and you went, God let you know that you was worthy. You breathing, right? You breathing? Yeah, you breathing. You worthy. You're good enough just the way you are. You good enough just the way you are. You don't need nobody to validate you. Yeah, I say you don't need nobody. Yeah, I'm country. Okay, let me say it proper. You don't need anyone to validate you. See, that's so fake. Let me go back to my real self. You don't need anybody to validate you. You validate yourself. Okay? Hey, Lamo. Ooh, I hope I said it right. Love you too. Love you too. You validate yourself. A baby Moses, of course. God is the one that gave me this unspeakable confidence, baby. Because I really had to dig deep into who I am. And I had to dig deep on, because I'm very spiritual. So I had to dig deep, all right? And I'm like, if God loves me just the way that I am, then why am I giving people who are negative so much power, so much space in my head, in my life, when they don't deserve it, right? Even God cleaned out the heavens. I'm not going to start preaching, but I'm going to say this and I'm going to pause on it. When the enemy, some people say the enemy, some people say devil, some people say Satan, they say different things. When he start causing the ruckus up there in heaven, did God take it? He kicked his butt out. So when somebody or people, groups or whatever, is making you feel some type of way, block them, remove them, ignore them. Do not allow them to have rent-free space up in your brain, in your heart, in your space. You have the power to change it. Hey, we got the 20. Woo! 20 likes. 20 likes. We got to 20 likes. Hey, 20 likes. 20 likes. Listen, I'm excited about every milestone that we hit. This is the first time live that I can recall that we hit 20 likes. We have a lot of people that come in, thousands and thousands of people. Like our other live, 13,000 people, 22,000 people watching us live. So thank you for watching. But you're watching, but you're not engaging, right? So I'm like, come on, y'all, hit that button. Tell me where you're tuning in from so I can include you in the conversation, the little convo that we having. We have Falcon in the building all the way from India. Woo! I love it when I see all of us coming in from the U.S. and all the four corners of the earth. Yes, 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 yes. We have Fowler saying, hi. Say, I love you so much, sister. Stay happy, stay blessed. You too, you too. Brandon talking about want to have my baby. Listen, I'm out the baby factory business. Listen, my baby is 18 and my oldest is 20 years old. Your girl got too many things to do on her God-given purpose that I don't need to be birthing no more babies. Because listen, every single time that I was pregnant, it was high risk. Because I get so big. Because I'm not a big person. I'm like 100 and maybe, well, I used to, back then I was like 116 pounds, 15 pounds. Like I'm short in real life. Like people are shocked when they see me because they see my photos and I have very long legs. So I have the illusion that I'm super tall, but I'm about 5'5" on a good day with heels and stuff on. And I'm about 134 pounds. And I'm tiny, right? So when I go to speak on stage, they're like, oh my God, you're so tiny. Like now, before I go to events, if like when they hire me, I say, I want to just let you know that my height do not perceive me. They're like, you is a bold, confident lioness woman. Like you're a little short, a little teeny little woman with all that power, that fire. I'm like, yeah, it took me a long time to get this way. Very long time. And I don't want you to have to take all these years to find your confidence. Come on. Oh, we have 23. Thank you. 23 likes. Thank you. Yeah, it took me a long time, you guys. And I just want you guys to know. Thank you. I love my people over here. Let me tell you something. I do not have to fight my own battles. I don't. Because I have people who don't even know me, people who do, and people who don't even know me, that know the kind of spirit that I have, because this is me. through and through. My husband, he tell me, girl, you is a walking, talking, breathing television show sitcom. I have them laughing all the time, even my kids. My my employer, because I work for a university, right? I teach business media and leveraging how to leverage social media for your business and all that stuff like that. And literally, she was like, you need to go on the road and do some Christian comedy, because I don't curse, right? I don't curse. And she said, you got good, clean comedy because you're funny. You should go. And I'm like, maybe one day I would just go and try it out. But I feel like I get booed off the stage for real, for real. You know why? Because I'm not a comedian. I'm just naturally, I guess, charismatic, tell the truth, very expressive. I think that makes it funny. But I do not take away, I don't consider myself a comedian, because true comedians, they work at their craft. They look at timing, they do all the things, they've been in the industry for a long time. And I'm not even finna claim I'm a comedian. I'm just a woman that sometimes says some funny things because I'm very expressive by nature, and some of the things that I say make people laugh. But I do not consider myself a comedian, because that is a gift and that is a skill. And true comedians, they got it going on, for real. That is not an easy job to have. That is not an easy job to have. So, hello, welcome to the live. Happy day. We have Ashley in the building. Hey, Ashley, welcome to the live. So, I want you guys to feel confident. That's why I come on this early, because I know many of you are on your way to work or on your way taking your children to school. Or maybe you just didn't have a good night's sleep. Maybe you had a breakup. Maybe you're going through a situation that is taking you where you can't get sleep, or you just feel, you know how sometimes you can wake up and you just don't feel like yourself. I come on this early because I am not a morning person. I am not by nature. But I get up because I want to make sure that I catch you guys who going to work, who doing stuff early in the morning. I want you to have a positive word. I want you to smile before you go. I want you to know that I love you. I want you to know that somebody out there cares about you, that have never laid eyes on you in person, that have never been able to touch you and hug you. I want you to know that you are worthy. I want you to know that you're special. I want you to know that whatever you want to do, you have all the tools within you. I don't care what happened to you when you was a little girl or a little boy. You know why? Because that does not define you. I want you to take hold of your future, your present, so that you can change your future. I want you to understand how amazing you are. I don't want you to get so caught up in what you see on mainstream media with how a woman's supposed to look, how a man's supposed to look. I don't want you to get so caught up in that you feel like when you look in the mirror, that something's wrong with you, maybe because you don't have a perfect smile. Like me, I don't have a perfect smile. You know, I have color, what they call it, discoloration. Parts of my face is light. Some of it's a little bit, pigmented. I don't have perfect eyebrows. Okay, these are real eyebrows. Okay, like, I don't always have the perfect hair. Now, sometimes when I go get my hair done right, you know, it be on fleek. But then I want you to see when it's not so great. Okay, when it's not so great. I want you to see me. No earrings. Regular t-shirt. I want you to see realness. We got so much fake stuff on this on social media that it's starting to make people feel like something's wrong with them. And I cry when I think about the impact that it's making on these young boys and young girls. Because these young boys and these young girls are really, they feel like that's what they need to do. And they feel like in order for them to be accepted, they have to look a certain way. I don't know about you, but I would much rather be in a room where people are diverse, people have their own unique style, than walking in a room where everybody is dressed just alike. How boring is that? How boring is that? For you to walk in the room and everybody is like robots. They speak in the same way. They have the same face, the same body, the same outfits. Like, that's pretty boring to me. I love the beauty of humankind in its naturalness. Short, tall, slender, more full figure. Because it's very boring if everybody was slim. I love seeing the different shapes and bodies. And I absolutely love seeing a woman when I go to the beach like myself and I put on my bathing suit, because I do have some stretch marks. I do have some stretch marks. And I love when I go to the beach and I see a real woman and she has some stretch marks. And I'm like, what's up, sis? And you my sis by you a woman, all right? You don't have to be black. I look at her, I be like, real woman there. Girl, embrace that cellulite. Embrace it. Because real women, we have it. Ain't no woman walking around here. Even men have it. Okay? So I just love seeing when people are confident enough to be real. Now, with that being said, real can be different things for different people. Like, I choose to be not wear makeup, but I will wear some artificial extensions sometime because I'm natural. And Lord knows, I do have my afro out and all that stuff sometimes, but I have that 4C hair. And it's beautiful, but it takes me some time. In the summertime, it's just it's just too much. And I don't like putting a lot of heat on my hair. I damaged my hair so bad from flat ironing and putting all that heat on it that I said, I'm not. That's why when I start doing full-fledged TV show, I said, let me tell you something. What we're not going to do is keep putting all this heat on my hair. Because and I did the bit chop. I did all that stuff. If you go back years ago, you'll be able to see all my journey. And I still have, I have braids and different stuff like that. And I believe in protecting my hair. There's certain things that I just won't do now. Now, I did not have the confidence to say no back then when people hired me to do different things. I was not confident. I would do whatever they told me to do, even if I didn't really want to do it, right? I was like, okay, so you want me to wear my hair like this? I have to. But now I'm like, no, that don't work for me. Nope. Nope. Anyway, listen. Let me go and read my comments because I love it when you guys respond. The positive people, of course. We got I think it's Serene Dipodis, if I said it right. They said, yes, all the perfect homes online, and my house has never looked like that. Yeah, that's TV. That's TV. And so that's why I come live and I do things like this. Now, you will see me lashes, perfect brows, because, when they do your makeup, I mean, everything just perfect. It's like, like this book. I had on makeup. I had an MUA. Matter of fact, if you know Misty Elliott, the singer, her and I share the same MUA. We have the same makeup artist. She actually does my makeup when I'm on stage and I do photo shoots when I'm over there in the ATL. So she did my makeup. Yeah, Misty Elliott and myself, we have the same makeup artist. And when I'm doing that kind of stuff, of course, all right, because I'm professional. I'm gonna do what I need to do for my professional setting when I'm speaking on stages, when I am interviewing in certain settings. You'll see me with the makeup and all that stuff like that, because I do feel that it has its place if that's what you want to do. If you want to be completely natural, whether you on stage or not, that's up to you too. But I choose in certain settings. I will wear makeup. I would do the whole 9, full face. I would do the whole 9. But then that's maybe 5% of the time. 95% of the time, I'm like this. And if I'm doing my own makeup, I'm very like generic. You'll just see maybe lipstick. I maybe do a little bit of my eyebrows and do like a little mascara. I'm not really a bit makeup person. And to be honest, I'm not a makeup person that knows how to do a lot of makeup. So, and I never took the time to really learn growing up. I was very basic. The most thing that I used to do when I was growing up, I love a strong lip because as you can see, my lips blend in with my face. So I love a strong red lip. So that's my signature. When I go places, I have on that red lipstick or I will have on a wine color. I love, like, I would wear lipstick. I love a good strong lip. And I think it's because growing up, I used to look like when I saw my mom get dressed. Oh my gosh. When I saw my mom get dressed when I was a little girl, I was just so, the beauty. My mom is so beautiful, right? I just look at my mom. I'm like, when I grow up, I want to look just like her. I want to look just like her. My mom is so beautiful, right? And so, and I would watch my mom get ready when I was a little girl. And she would always have a strong red lipstick, right? And so I think that's probably why I like a red lipstick, because I feel a little bit like my mom and I love her so much. So I was like, okay, I'm not dressed until I got on that strong lip. So I think that's probably why. But anywho, let's see. Oh, we have Ireland in the building. David said we need more real women. You're super cute. Thank you, David. Oh, Lydia's back. Hey, Lydia. Welcome back, love. Let's see. And so, for me, those are just some things that I personally know that I needed to do in order to help myself. And so I just want people to just be happy at the end of the day. Now, let me go over. I'm not going to go over everything. All right. Let me drink my water like Frederick said. Frederick reminded me that I need to drink my water. He right. You guys, drink your water. Oh, you guys, we at 28 likes. Can we make it to 30 before we go? Come on, 2 more people. Go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and share button. No, I don't speak Russian. But we do have a lot of people from Russia that follow us. We have people from all over that follow us. Okay, chapter 1. Storytime, the power of podcast in chapter 1. So, the first thing that you need if you want to start a podcast or even become a content creator in general, you need to figure out what your purpose is, what problem that you're solving, who you want to help. And then you build your podcast around it. So, why do you want to start a podcast? What is your podcast about? Who is your podcast for? How will you help your listeners? When will you start your podcast? Many people, they want to say, because they see so many people doing podcasts and people just want to just go ahead and boop and go ahead and start it. But if you want to start your podcast on solid ground, you need to make sure that you do this groundwork first so that you won't have to go back and do it later. Because some of these things, mind you, when I first started my podcast in 2018, 2018, I did not do any of this because I didn't know to do it. I just clicked the button on Anchor. It was called Anchor then, and I just started the podcast. Now, hindsight, I had to do a lot of rebuilding, restructuring because it had no structure. And so that's why I'm telling people now, like, okay, learn from me. Yeah, I did this. And yes, Spotify, before they even were letting podcast on there, they put my podcast on Spotify. Then they put my podcast on iHeartRadio. I didn't ask. They love the content and they put it on there for free. This was before people start getting on these platforms. It was unheard of for a podcaster to be on these platforms that was not a Steve Harvey, a thing from a big conglomerate. It just wasn't done, right? Because I thought it wasn't true. I thought it was a hoax at first, but it was true. Because I could literally say my name and my podcast name and I could listen to it when I was in the car because it was on Spotify. We have Pakistan in the building. Hello. We have the truth says so interesting. I can say happy birthday, but I don't know who that is. Okay. So first thing, you need to develop the purpose of your podcast. Oh, we made it to 32. Actually, thank you, thank you, thank you. Make sure to hit that subscribe button too. And thank you for everyone who took the time to hit the subscribe and the likes. So the first thing you need to do before you start your podcast is understand what your purpose, the purpose of your podcast. We were talking about purpose yesterday. So what is the purpose of your podcast, right? The next thing is you'll need to think of what you want the name of your podcast to be. And I always encourage you guys to really think about this deeply, because I changed my name more. This is my third time changing my name of my podcast as I grew, as I evolved. And it's okay to do that, but why do that if you think really closely about what you want your name to be, so that you won't have to keep rebuilding your audience, right? I changed my podcast name 3 times. The Tina Ramsey Show is the 3rd time, right? And so the whole reason why I changed it to the Tina Ramsey Show is because before I had names, the show was a certain name. And I realized as I was growing as a brand, I need to make myself the brand, so that no matter what I'm doing, I won't have to change it anymore. Not unless I want to, because there's no need, because it's the Tina's brand, right? As I grew, because I was making the podcast name my brand. And then I realized if I make myself the brand, then I won't have to keep changing everything 24/7, right? Because I was putting myself in a box. And I don't want to be in a box. I lived in the box almost my whole life. And I'm like, forget the boxes. I'm coloring outside the lines, okay? And so that's why, because my show was for women only. Like, we talked about all women stuff. And when I started finding out that men was watching and coming for the advice and different stuff like that, I had to change the concept so I can welcome the men in. Okay, I had to change the color scheme so that I could bring the men in, so they would feel comfortable coming in on the show and stuff like that. That's why I said you're going to have to really understand and read your analytics, because it's going to show you who's really watching. You know, when you see people commenting right now, but really when you have the analytics is the data that's collected for each video that you do, or each audio video that you do on social media or on podcasting. It'll let you know all the countries that people are listening or watching your show. It will let you know the age bracket, how old they are. And if you have a more advanced analytics, it will even let you know a breakdown of the average income of the people who are watching and listening to your show. So as I was watching my analytics, I saw that at first it was 97% women and maybe 4% men. And then all of a sudden it shifted to half and half, 50% women, 50% men. And I said, well, how can I still help my women, but not overlook the men, right? And so that's why I changed the name of my show to the Tina Ramsey Show. And so think about what you want your name to be of your show. Be creative. Stick with your current, whatever your branding is, you need to think closely about the color. So whatever your show name is, it needs to be reflected in the colors. It don't necessarily have to be a color that you like. Many of us, we want to pick the colors that we like in order to build our brand around. But if your brand is, for example, a wellness company, and your favorite color is blue, or your favorite color is orange, for wellness, that's not a good color. Do the science. There is science behind and psychology behind the colors that you pick and use for your branding based upon the niche and the audience that you have. And ideally, if you are in a health and wellness arena, your color should typically be green, have white in it. It should have some more earth tones. Why? Is because you're speaking about health. Health is usually from the earth. And most people who are health conscious, they're more earth conscious. And so if you talking about health and then you got pink, that don't it all colors drive an emotion. Okay? Colors psychologically make you feel a certain type of way even when you don't know it. Think about it. When you see yellow, do you feel sad? No, you usually feel happy when you see yellow. When you see red, you usually think about the stop sign, you usually think about power, you usually think about confidence, professionalism, all these different things. That's not by a coincidence that you're feeling it. It's by design. Everything that we see is advertisement, whether we realize it or not. And it's all shaping the way that we feel. That's why I tell people, be careful on what you watch, be careful on who you patronize, be careful on what you do, because everything that you do is attached to feelings. It drives you. Why do you think they have commercials? Why do you think we have commercials on TV, on movies, on shows? It's not just because we want you to watch TV. It's because you're trying to redefine the narrative and draw them in to feel the emotion of it, because people don't buy because they have the money, because they want it. People buy because they have an emotional attachment. It's a feeling that either you want to have once you buy it, or it's a feeling of feeling like, ooh, I feel good if I have this in my possession. We are drawn innately by our emotions. So why do you think every time people want you to make a donation for children or for a cause, the music is kind of sad in the background? You start seeing people, the camera roll is going slow. It's kind of floating across where you can kind of see the disparity of what we have versus what another country or another person have, to kind of draw you in to the emotion of it, to try to steer you to action. Everything that we do, whether you realize it or not. And so when you're picking your colors for your show, it should never be about you. It should be about the audience that you are here to serve. Now, with me, what I teach entrepreneurs is that we have to be very careful on how we do things. I'm very conscious on the things that I say, the things that I do, because I understand that it can shift moods, shift minds, shift thinking, draw people to action on certain things. And I don't do that weird stuff. I just don't do it, because you got to handle this kind of thing very, very with care. That's why certain times, if I see a certain type of commercial that come on, I'm like, oh, let me turn the volume off. I'm not gonna watch this, because I ain't down with that stuff they doing, right? Because I know it's imaging, it's subliminal, it's different things that's gonna draw you based upon your emotional age. And let me break that down. So your emotional age your emotional age can be different from your chronological age. Your chronological age is the date, the stamp when you was born, and what year you in, based upon what year you in will determine what your age is, your chronological age. For example, if someone is 43 years old, their birthday, they're 43, but their emotional age can be more like 12. It could be 20. So you can be a woman 60 or a man 60 years old, but still have the mindset of a 30 or 20-year-old, because emotionally something stifled you, that sometimes you're caught in that same trauma that you have not been able to escape, because you have not been able to have the tools to be able to heal yourself, be able to mature, be able to move on, right? Because you've been taught to sweep it up under the rug. So it's a lot of people that's walking around here that are adults, but have a mental capacity of a child. And being that I know this kind of stuff, studying psychology and sociology, and just understand the science of what makes us do what we do, and sometimes our experiences can dictate how we shape how we feel about certain things. That's why I give people grace. When I see negative people, I was like, oh, this person may be an adult in body, but they may still be a child and juvenile emotionally and mentally. Because it's not normal for an adult to start attacking on other people. That's not normal. We get into the place where it's looking like it's normal because so many people is doing it, but that's not normal. So it's a reason why, right? And so I'm just like, listen, when you are creating your show, if it's wellness, you need to make sure that your graphics, you need to make sure that your colors all match the psychological, emotional side of what you're doing. So it can make mental, emotional sense to your audience, to make them feel the environment that you want to create. Safety, nurturing, health, longevity. Pink don't do that. Purple don't do that for health and wellness. Now, think about if you had a daycare. Have you ever thought about why daycare owners, when you go to daycares, it's always a lot of primary happy colors like red, and it's a mixture of colors. It's not just one color. Normally, a daycare will have a mixture of colors, like you'll have red, yellow, green, all the colors, right? Because number one, it's the primary colors, and they're going to make sure your kids know the primary colors. Number two, those colors usually make you feel happy. And it's all the different kind of emotions. Look into it. Look up, Google color psychology. It will blow your mind. It will blow your mind. It's not what just people say. It's the emotion of how the video is done, the colors and all that. So make sure you check that out, because it ain't about you when you're creating your podcast or your brand. It's about the people who you are here to serve, that you're here to solve their problem. You're here to make a positive impact. So what colors will make them feel and draw to you for the solution? Okay. And it has to make mental sense, because we have already been seeing so many imageries out that classify things as a certain way. And so if you go outside of that, you're going to have to really work super duper hard at reintroducing the same concept, because you decided that you're going to be overly unique and go there and put pink on the wellness. Because why you think it's, green, the earth? Okay, but I ain't gonna go too deep. Denisha asked me, am I kin to Gordon Ramsay? No, I'm not kin to Gordon Ramsay. I mean, I haven't I haven't looked into it. I'm pretty sure if we shake the family tree, who knows? He might be there. I might be there. We have the same last name, and our last name is very unique, because people say Ramsey, but our spelling of our name is Ramsay, Ramsay, and there's very few people on the earth that has the spelling Ramsay. Say, not EY. People misspell my name all the time. My last name is spelled Ramsay. The correct pronunciation of my last name is really not Ramsey. It's Ramsay. But being that people are so common with Ramsey, I just said, forget it. It ain't really a big deal now unless I'm signing a check. Like, it has to be spelled right on my checks. When you're buying a house, when you're doing this stuff, it has to be right. The right spelling. But other than that, I don't think too much of it, because people are more they when they see, I say, okay, my name is Ramsay, and then say, spell it. I said Ramsay, and they say, oh, Ramsey. I said, no, Ramsay. And they say Ramsay. I said, yes, Ramsay, not Ramsey. You don't see an E in it, do you? It's Ramsay. But I got tired of correcting people 24/7. It really became very annoying. I'm like, it ain't really that big of a deal, only in business situations. I'm like, it ain't really that serious. I mean, you can say Ramsey. I say Ramsey now, because I'm like, listen, if you can't beat them, join them. Because it's just that mentally our brain is so used to one way that no matter how much I try to tell them the right way to say it, it's just a waste of time. And I'm not that sensitive about it anyway, because I know what it is, and I just say Ramsey now myself. But no, I don't think so. I have never checked, to be honest with you. But we do have a mixed up family, meaning we have all races in our family. And pretty much all of us do. If you go down and dip down in that family tree, you'll see a whole lot of people you ain't know that was there. But I can't go on record saying, yes, that's my cousin, because I don't know. I don't know. Said true, I can't even use my phone for a minute on gray mode. Oh, hello. Shout out to the Philippines. Okay. So your name of your podcast, and make sure when you use when you create the name of your podcast and your colors, make sure that you also use the keywords so that people can find you on social media, hashtags, SEO, all that good stuff, so people can find you. Because people can find the Tina Ramsey show all over. They can find me all over because of SEO, keyword, and also being consistent with my name, with my branding, and having it spelled the exact same way on all platforms. All of that play a crucial role in making sure that you get your voice out in other ways other than your podcast. But we're talking specifically podcasting, that's what it is. You need to know your listeners. Now, in the beginning, you have a concept, you have an idea of how you want your show to go, and you create the content. But I would say after about 3 months, really 30 days sometime, but I like to tell people, give people 90 days. You will have enough data, analytics to know, did they really like the content that you was giving them? And it'll be based upon how many downloads, how many people that followed it on social media, because sometimes your downloads do not totally reflect the quality of your show, because some people might just listen and watch you on social media versus going to click Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podcast Addict, all these different distributions. They may choose not to go to a podcasting, quote unquote, hosting platform to listen to you, like iHeartRadio and all that. They may choose to listen to you on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. I don't know why they changed it to X. That just don't make no sense to me. But Twitter, the new X. They may listen to you like that. They may go to your website and choose to click on your link and listen like that. So you cannot all the time, not unless you are strategically just sending people to your podcast on these platforms for downloads, then you can look at it. But if you are not just using podcasting platform, but you're using social media in conjunction with podcasting, you need to look at the whole thing. And who are listening, who are engaging, what is your platform that has the most activity, right? And look at the analytics from that. Mostly all platforms have some form of analytics, even if it's basic. Look at it. Excuse me. Allergies. Look at it, and then based upon what content or what videos they like the most, then you can create more content with that. You can actually create a series based upon your highest viewed video, your highest downloadable podcast. What I like to do is every now and then look at whatever the highest is, and then I will create a series that break it down in smaller parts, because I already know that my audience, that's what they want to hear. So if I give them more of what they want to hear, then they are going to engage more. They're going to share more. They're going to like it more. They're going to listen longer. It's just a better situation, giving people what they want. So your podcast so you should know your listeners. And like I said, that you can do that with the analytics, the avatar, how old they are. All these things are very important in creating your content. I remember when I first started out, I was thinking that I was helping like 20 something to about 45-year-olds. Well, when I started looking at my analytics, I was shocked, because my analytics actually showed that people was listening and engaging with my content that was like 24 all the way to 60 plus. So here it is. I got the baby boomers. I had no idea that the baby boomers was my largest area of people who engage my content, and 34 to 40 something years old was my second. It was them at first, the younger generation, but then the baby boomers took over. And so having that kind of knowledge enabled me to be able to make sure that I have content that's not only for the 34 to 48 year olds, but also, excuse me, y'all, got allergies, to also help the people that 60 plus. Content and make sure that I touch topics that affect them as well, and make it a good blend that even when I am doing content for my baby boomers, that my people that are younger, my millennials, can still find value in it. So you're not switching one audience for the next. You're learning how to cohesively merge the content so that it can address your baby boomers, your millennials, your what they call them, Generation X now, the younger ones. How can you cohesively blend the content, one piece of content, in order to be inclusive of your entire audience base? And you do that strategically by, maybe it is a topic more geared towards baby boomers, but you make sure you add the relatability of how you will work that if you are a millennial, if you are Generation X, right? How can you do that and make everybody cohesively feel welcome, cohesively be able to have the information and receive the information in such a way that they can execute it? It's not too over the head or too under that you lose something in the translation of speaking, because different generations understand different terminology different, but making sure it's a good blend. So that's what I do with my show, and that's what I do when I do all these lives and stuff like that, because I understand my audience, right? I have 60s, 60, 70, 80-year-olds following me, as well as 13, 14, 15, 20 plus to 40, right? I have my age bracket and people that's younger, my age bracket and people that's older. A lot of my friends say I have an old soul, right? So I have a uniqueness that I can kind of blend both, because I am younger, but yet I have experience having a stroke, all the stuff that sometimes, sad to say, some of my older people have experienced having a stroke, health issues or whatever like that. And so I felt like with me going through what I went through, God allowed me to be able to be empathetic about all age brackets, because at 25, 26 years old, it was so extreme having a stroke, and being able to hear and speak to baby boomers. And they're like, "Baby, why are you here?" And I'm like, "I'm trying to figure that out too, because I thought I was doing good. I don't know what." So I see things in a different kind of perspective because of my life experiences. So I felt like my life got fast forwarded, and then I brought back to, being my age bracket. So I think a little different because I experience things a whole lot differently. And so I think that's why people say I have an older soul, because I experienced a lot of things in my short time on this earth. And so you can describe your podcast. Let's go to describing your podcast. When you describe your podcast, you want to be very specific on what you're doing. Now, when you're first starting out your podcast, some people are a little bit generalized. They're a little bit broad. So, like for me, and that usually don't work. Okay, let me say that, because it's more work and usually don't work for everybody. But it just depends. Like for me, for years, my podcast have been about, I know it by heart. The Tina Ram Show is all about motivating you, sharing knowledge, having upbuilding conversations centered around business, wellness, education, and life. We introduce you to the most impactful entrepreneurs and influencers who are truly making a positive impact in the world. It is your time to shine, and we help you do that. So come on over to the Tina Ram Show so we can share your story with the world. I've been saying that ad nauseum for all these 10 seasons, right? So that's how I know it, like sleeping. Okay, my show just pivoted. It's only entrepreneurship lifestyle, season 11 and going on with, right? And so you have to know your audience. And the reason why I shifted, because I have so many entrepreneurs that's coming, that new people who start entrepreneurship. I have so many people that's making 6, 7, 8 figures, that I feel like, okay, we're getting a lot of information, but is it the right information? So bringing on these people that live in it, that's going to be honest with you. I'm only bringing on people who are being honest and transparent with you about the real plight of an entrepreneur, the good, the bad, the amazing, and the ugly at the end of the day. Because you see all these fairy tale entrepreneurs, they just show you all the good stuff that happened. They're not letting you know that, hey, this could happen. Oh, what happened to me. And I feel that when people have the right information, people can thrive better. And when people have the right information, they don't give up as fast, because sometimes you feel like because you did what the person said and it didn't work out for you the way it worked out for them, you feel like it's something wrong with you, something wrong with your business. And it may not necessarily be the thing. It may just be that your audience is not attracted to that form of marketing, to that form of placement of what you're doing. And you just need to change it or tweak it a little bit in order to reach your unique audience. And I feel like you need to know that, right? And so when you are describing your podcast, you need to know who it's for, what you're doing it for, who you're there to help. And you also need to double check on everything that you do with spelling and grammar. I do sometimes make mistakes. Everybody make mistakes in that. But you want to make as least mistakes. It's good to have somebody look behind you or whatever like that. When you are designing your podcast cover art, okay, the thing is, when the cover art or the logo, right? You can choose to put yourself on it, or it can just be a stagnant logo. However you decide to do it, you need to make sure that it is everything that you want it to be. It's inviting. It will draw people in to click on your podcast episode, right? And so with that being said, you need to put some time, effort, detail, and in some cases you need to invest on having a graphic designer create something for you. Now you can go to Canva and create your own stuff temporarily, or you can, Canva has got it going on for real. Canva got it going on. So you can make you a pretty cool logo inside of Canva. And then they have other softwares that you can use as well. But with that being said, you just need to make sure that, because it's the first impression. So people are going to be seeing your logo before they even listen to your podcast. So will your logo or your cover art draw somebody to click to listen? So I used to just have my stagnant podcast, just the regular standard one. And then now what I'm doing, I'm shifting a little bit. I'm actually showing the guest that's on that particular podcast when it's audio, so they can connect with the guest and they can see the person face and be like, oh yeah, I think I want to listen to them. So that'll be good. Now let's talk about a little bit of technology. When you are doing your podcast show, if you're going to stream it or you're going to be completely audio. Now, if you are just audio only, meaning they're never going to see you, they're only going to hear your voice, then you need to invest in a really good microphone, because you don't want feedback. You don't want all these different sounds and different stuff like that. You want to make sure that you have a really good mic. If you're audio only, everything that you're doing, you need to make sure you have sound effects to keep them engaged. You'll hear different sounds and claps and all that stuff. You don't have to have it, but it does make for good listening experience. I was actually a judge for a podcast award show, and it was completely audio. Everything that they turned in that we had to listen to, that we had to judge on, it was completely audio. So what stood out to me as a judge on the committee of the podcast shows, and we judge celebrity podcasts as well as everyday people, what stood out on a completely audio podcast was if you just have people that are just doing their voice, right? And they're not really expressive, like really exciting and all that. you need a little extra to keep the audience engaged. And so as a judge, when I heard like all the different little sounds and different little other things that they did, it created a picture in my head. Like my mind mentally made a picture when I was hearing all that. It was almost like it was video because it was so engaging with the audio. So if you're audio, just think about audio only. Think about the listening experience from the other end. Not just because your content can be amazing, but will it still hold the audience? Now, if you're a video, the unique thing about video is that people can see you. So even if your audio is not the best that you want it to be, but you still need to have good audio, people are going to be drawn in because they can see you. You're live. You're doing all this stuff like I'm doing, right? So I would say you have to have good lighting. You have to have good sound. You need to have a camera or a good cell phone so that it will be a good experience, because most people today have really good cell phones. This is not like 10 years ago where people didn't have no good cell phones. Everybody, even the Obama phones, have an okay camera. Okay? And so how can you make sure that you stand out or don't look below the standard of quality video? And so make sure that you do have to invest in that sometime, or in a phone. Like I have an iPhone, I think it's a 15 or 14, whatever the one is out now. I have that, and I did not want to get it, but I know I needed a really good phone. Like I will use my cell phone until the wheels fall off because I just don't like wasting money. And I really don't like how much these phones are. But when you're doing a business, it makes sense to have a better phone because I'm doing a lot of recording with my phone. We have cameras, and you want to make sure when you are out and about that it's a quality video. Now, sometimes when you're doing, it don't matter how good your phone is. If the internet is sorry, sometimes you go into these buildings, the Wi-Fi is like a dead spot. You can't really be like, oh, it's blurry. You can't really control that now unless you have your own independent hotspot. And I'm still figuring that out, because we do have that, and then sometimes it don't work. So I'm trying to figure out what the world going on. But anywho, so make sure that you check that out when you're doing video. The sound, the lighting, all that good stuff. And if you do have a legitimate business, meaning that your articles of incorporation is filed with the state that you live in, you have an LLC, then that is a tax write-off, because it's equipment to help with the function and the production of your business. So if you spent $1,500 for a phone, you can count that whole cost. Well, I'm not a tax person. Let me go ahead and give this disclaimer. I am just giving this for educational purposes only. This is not an attempt for you to follow what I'm saying, because I am not a lawyer. I am not a tax preparer, but I'm just sharing my personal experience with you. And then you have to do your own due diligence and find you a reputable tax preparer or financial advisor. I got to say that disclaimer. Anyway, for me, I'll put it on me. You can, like when I bought my phone, it was a tax write-off. Okay? Because I do this and I use my phone for my business. I would have never purchased an expensive phone, period, if it wasn't for my business. I mean, I really had the $500 phone, $300 phone for a long time. But I had to level up on this phone because I'm using it 24/7, and it kept turning out all kind of crazy stuff. So I had to invest in it, right? And as you become more serious about your podcast, and see, my podcast is a business. It's not just a podcast, something I'm just doing. It's a business. It's a real business, a legitimate business, right? And it have legitimate expenses and things that you just have to do. Yes, I had to do the disclaimer. Like, listen, when you start getting this word, you be like, wait a minute, hold up. Let me just say this disclaimer, because I'm not trying to take this right here from anybody else and blah, 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 because I am not a financial advisor nor a tax advisor. I'm just sharing my personal experiences with you on this video for educational purposes only. You'll need to do your own due diligence and find the people that is qualified to handle what you need to handle. I am not that person. I'm just sharing my personal experience with all of you. Hello. You're going to have to drop a link for Billy English. Okay, so the next thing you need to do is choose a hosting site. A hosting site for your podcast is a place like Spotify for podcasts. It used to formerly be called Anchor, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Red Circle. What are some more? Buzzsprout, Podbean, Libsyn. All of those are hosting. CTR Media Network is a sub-hosting. So once you're a hosting there, we work along with we combine that with what we do, and we filter everything out with our website. We also draw attention, help you grow your audience. We help promote you. We help teach you different things monthly. And you have one-on-ones with me as well if you sign up for that. And we do it as additional free. We also have magazines that we produce throughout the year. That we put you in. Like we have our Podcast Revolution magazine where we feature our podcasters that's on CTR Media Network. So we do a lot of different things. We also get them featured in other magazines and different stuff like that. Or because we know people and we just like to help in the visibility and brand awareness of who you are in your brand. And truth be told, most podcasters are not just podcasters. They are entrepreneurs. They are business owners. They are nonprofit leaders. And so they use their podcast as a way to get their message out to more people more cost effectively, and to develop the longevity for people to be able to find out what it is that they're doing. So it's not like me. I am a 100% podcaster, eat, breathe, sleep podcasting. That's what I do. That is my business. That is my brand, right? And then on my other business, I do education, specifically helping parents with homeschooling and people who have children or young adults with autism or fall into the special needs community. And so you'll see me doing podcasting on both of those things. And I co-host on various different podcasts. When they hire me in, I come in and co-host for a season or two, depending upon how long the contract is, and do my job, and then I'll move on, Or you see me hosting and emceeing events. That's another thing. Podcasting opened up a lot of different opportunities that you may not have the opportunity to do. You could do it, but it will be more harder. People are looking for people who have platforms to be able to share stuff, right? And so when you take the time to build up a podcast, like it opened up me speaking opportunities, being in books, being featured in different magazines, being featured in different shows. Of course, I was able to be a judge for an official podcast award show, judging podcast shows for celebrities, the quality of the shows for celebrities, as well as influencers, as well as everyday people who are podcasters. I have been able to help stream the first podcasting award show in the world. I don't know if you know this, but the podcast world is just like how it is with the actors and the actresses, right? Like they have the Tony Awards, they have they have the Oscars, they have all that. Well, we have the Podcast People Choice Awards. Did y'all know that? It's been in existence for over 18 years. I mean, it's like the Oscars for the podcasters, where you get awarded. And last year, I was nominated on the People's Choice Podcast Awards as the best Black podcast host, right? For the Tina Ramsey Show. Like, literally, we have our own award ceremonies. People don't realize that podcasting is really a thing. It's a whole world. We have our own events, just like Essence. We have our own events all over the world. Like, podcasting is not just, when you're really podcasting and you're doing it as a business, you will start seeing like, dog, I didn't know people really do this. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. We have, like, you can literally win an Emmy for podcasting. Yeah, it's a lot that y'all don't know dealing with podcasting. So choose your podcasting hosting site, whatever you feel comfortable with. Some of these podcasting platforms are free. Some of them have a small fee for you to pay. And then some of it is based upon how much bandwidth you use on their platform will determine how much you pay per month. So if you only do 1 episode a month or 4 episodes a month, it won't be that expensive. But if you're doing more than 4 episodes typically, and then you're turning around and they're long episodes, an hour, 2, 3, 4 hours, then you're gonna have to pay to be able to manage that amount of bandwidth on their platform, which is understandable because we all have to pay for stuff. So you just have to figure out which platform is best for you and your podcast. And some of these podcasting platforms, they actually help you build a website around your podcast. Some of them will actually help you be able to find ways to monetize your podcast because they actually allow monetization on their platform, just like CTR Media Network. Ours is a little bit different. So we don't go out and pitch you to be able to get your sponsorships. We teach you how to go get your sponsorships yourself. And if you're on our platform, you get a sponsorship opportunity, we let you keep 100% of the profit. So you're not splitting it with the network, or the network is not taking percentage of your money. You literally you go out there and make that deal because you're a part of CTR Media Network, then you keep your money. That's your business. You handle your own deal and leverage CTR in order to do it. Like, we do things, we creating a new standard of podcast, a new standard of content creation, and you own 100% of your content. So yes, your content is on CTR, but you own it, right? And we don't own it, because let me tell you something, we have enough content. So you can actually take your content and shop it to different networks and work out different deals. Now, I'm going to say this. All independent networks do not do this. So don't think, oh, well, CTR Media Network does this, so I want to do that too. Well, you can't go on the independent, because CTR Media Network is independently owned and operated. So we make our own rules. And so every independent network don't do it the way that we do it. And so before you go into any deal, before you sign any contracts, you need to have a good understanding on how their operational systems work. Because some of these platforms are exclusive platforms. And what that means is, if you take your show to their network, then and sign the contract and you're a part of the network, then if it's an exclusivity contract, that means that you can't take your content over to CTR. You can't take your content over to another platform, because they are the only ones that can run your content, period. And they can tell you whether you can run it on social media. They can tell you whether it has to be behind a paying gateway wall. People have to have a subscription. Like, they make the rules. So you need to make sure when you sign before you sign these contracts, you understand whether or not it's an exclusivity clause. And if it's not exclusivity, what can you do and what can't you do with your content when it's on their platform. We are pretty much lenient. Like, we don't care. You can be on our platform and 100 other platforms if you want to be on it. We encourage you to be a part of any other platform that you feel is a good fit for you. You can, and we will run the exact same episodes that they're running, because we have a different audience from them. But everybody is not like that. So I had to learn the hard way. A lot of my shows that I had, I didn't know that I signed an exclusivity contract. And it was an exclusivity contract where even after we parted ways, they still can run and make money off my content to this day. And I got people that still making money off it to this day. And I have no control over it, right? Because I signed the contract, didn't understand. That's why I tell you guys to get legal help, get lawyers. Don't go in no meeting and sign no contract, believing what people say out their mouth, and then they hand you a contract, and then you don't read it, thinking that everything they say out their mouth is on the contract. And 9 times out of 10, it's a whole different scenario. And don't sign, and don't be embarrassed if you don't understand the legal jargon, because the average person don't understand legal terminology, because we didn't go to school to be no lawyer, period. And so get you some help, get you a legal counselor, find you a paralegal, find somebody that is very good on content creation. Create a Life, createalife.com. That is, spell the word creator, but life is spelled L-F-Y-E. That's LFYE.com. They're amazing with being an agent for content creators and making sure them contracts are not funny, right? Because she's very good with that. So don't go in blind. Don't go in blind. Don't go in thinking, oh, I can trust this. Mm-mm. Not when you sign in contracts. And the contract, one of the contracts that I signed years ago, which I didn't understand it, not only was exclusivity, but then it turned around that even once we parted ways, I still could not take my content to another place for 18 to 24 months after we had parted ways. So think about that. If you're making money from your podcast and then all of a sudden you part ways, you break the contract and you part ways, and that is your source of income, and for 18 to 24 months they're still running your content, you're not making any money from it anymore, and you don't have the ability to take the content that you made, that you created, you paid, you got videographers, photographers, clothing, makeup, all this stuff, hair, all this stuff in order for the development, which they didn't do, you did all this, and you still do not have control to be able to use it even after you leave and walk away from the contract for a certain amount of time. That's why I tell you, read the contract. If you don't understand what it says, don't sign it. Don't let nobody rush you, and go get you some legal help, because, honey, you can get locked up into something you don't want to be in, and it can affect your whole situation. Scott said, living with Scott and Kat. Oh, we got a podcast in the building. I am doing great. So I don't know what some of the other people are talking about, but just make sure that you watch your contracts. Okay, watch your contracts. I'm gonna come back on another video and talk about affiliate marketing, MLMs. Now, I have had some good experience with MLMs, and I have had some not so great situations with MLMs. And that's only because in some cases I didn't understand what was going on. But one way people can make money is affiliate marketing. And what I do like about affiliate marketing is that if you do not have a large audience yet, you usually don't have too many requirements that you have to have. Most websites, businesses have an affiliate marketing program. And you have to do that with your own. So basically, affiliate marketing is a way that you promote a business or a product or service, and then you get a kickback every time somebody click your link and actually purchase. They have to follow through. So if they just clicking it and they're not purchasing anything, then you're not going to make anything. Now, the percentage is different based upon that business. Now, some people will pay you. You have like Amazon. They have things that's just 1.7%. I'm like, wow. Like really, literally pennies. And then you have some things on Amazon that is higher. Then you have things like independent businesses that offer affiliate 10%. And then you have some things like people offer you 15, 20, 30%. It's different. So it's no really, I can't say, do this, do that, do this, do that, and this person offer this and this person. Because sometimes affiliate marketing, if you have a private one-on-one with these companies, they offer you based upon the value that you bring more than they offer the average person. Because you've been doing this longer, because you have a proven ROI, because you have a proven CTR, click-through rate, they will offer you more when you have a sidebar. Make sure you have a lawyer, whether it's in person or virtual. Do not go into any contractual situation without having you some legal representation, period. Now, if you do go into a situation without legal representation, don't you sign anything right then. You find you a legitimate lawyer and let them read it over. And yes, those lawyers do charge. Now, unless you have a friend or somebody that's a lawyer, they do charge you in order to review contracts to give their advice. So let me see. Thank you. You're a nice person too. Oh my goodness. You guys are coming with these lines. Y'all be having me cracking. Oh, So I'm going to read it. Scott is something. Hey, baby, are you building? Because I rate you a 9 out of 11. Boy, y'all is smooth operator. I'm not reading that one. All right. Thank y'all. Thank you. You sweet too. So just be very mindful of all of that, because a lot of businesses are reaching out to content creators, whether you are a podcaster, whether you are live streaming like I'm doing right now. They reach out through emails. They reach out through, like if you're on this platform and you have an email attached to it, then 9 times 10 they'll reach out through that email. But I'm gonna tell you this, because there's so many scams out there, and I really don't like to use the word scams, but it's true. Everything is not a scam, because I'm not one of them people like, oh, everything. No, but they are some. Like, that's just the world that we're living in. So make sure that you do your due diligence before. You got to be careful clicking some links now, because now they got where you can click the link and they can just get all your information. I didn't know that, right? And I'm like, so be very careful. When what I like to do, a rule of thumb, when you receive a brand opportunity, or someone saying they want to work with you, they want to pay you X amount of dollars, do your research on them. Do your research on the company. Can you find this company online? Do they have a social media presence? Do they have a website? If they are supposed to be a legitimate agency, a company, or whatever, and they don't have a website, excuse me, how you an agent and you don't have no website? A secure website, okay? Number one. Number two, you don't have any type of social media out here showing the body of your work. Red flag number 2. Red flag number 3, I can't have a conversation with you over the phone. I can't see you in a Zoom room or some kind of virtual situation. Oh, we always got to talk through text messages and email. I don't do that. Like, this is just certain things. And the number one thing that I noticed, because these scammers are getting very good with copying real business, legitimate businesses logo and their emails and the flow of the emails and how it look real legitimate, right? Look up before you answer or click on anything. Click the email where it's saying where it came from. Usually when you click it, say for example, it said PayPal, right? Because you get a lot of scamming stuff that they claim is PayPal, but it's not PayPal. It's these people scamming. And so you click on it where the email come from. I want you to go see where the email come from. If it's not saying coming from the real PayPal or the real entity that it's supposed to be, and it got all these letters and numbers at Gmail, at Hotmail, at these funny little names, that 9 times, that ain't real. The email might look real, but if it's coming from a place that you like, wait a minute, every legitimate company usually will send their email from a .com. Sometimes they have a Gmail, but it's associated with their name of their business, right? But if it is supposed to be a high level agency, they're not going to be having no letters and numbers and weird little signs and stuff in their email. It's going to make sense. It's not going to look like a little scrabbly little message. Like, it's going to be right. So check your email and see where they're coming from. Make sure to do your due diligence, do your research. Make sure to not just be clicking links just to be clicking it just because they want to give you opportunity. Because sometimes through your desperation, because you want to make a certain amount of money, because you know the value of what you're putting out in the world, and you want to be able to fund what you're doing because you deserve it. If you're sitting on your behind like me and creating content, giving out free information, of course, at some time you want it to be reciprocated. Now, let's just keep it real. You want to do what you want to do and impact the world with good, but you also want to see a return on the goodness that you're putting out. So it's only natural, okay? And sometimes these people use sometimes people need the money, right? So they use that emotional state to draw you in to a situation that they can get your identity, that they can that it's just not true. Then they start asking you for money in order to do this right here. I have never known any agency, not unless it's a school. If it's a school, it's different. If I have never known any agency that hires in talent, meaning me, I'm talent. If you are a content creator, you're the talent, okay? And you have to pay them. I have in everything that I had, like I have an agent, right? I have never had, even before I had an agent, I was working, creating content on another platform, and you have to go through this agency in order for, to be able to get paid on the platform. And I have never had an agent before for social media content. So we would go on and we had to create so many videos a week. We had to be on a certain amount of time. It's certain things that we could not have in the background, different stuff like that, because it's a job, right? Yeah, we were showing and we were doing the same thing that we were doing prior to the agency, but it's a little bit more calculated on how you have to do it because you're working for them, right? And so they wanted us to create the content, but do it on their platform. And we had to have some exclusive stuff over there to get paid. Now, and we had a time frame that we had to have these like 40 videos done in 1 week. I know, right? And we had to do so many hours on the platform for each live. So each live had to be a certain amount of time. And then we had to have 40 videos. And then based upon that, you'll get $800, $1,500, $2,400. It just depends on how much influence you had, how much credibility, how long you've been doing it. Your body of work will determine, some people might get paid $10,000. Some people get paid $500. It's just different based upon, just like working for a regular job and your seniority. A person who's been on a job for 25 years is getting paid more than a person that just started or just been there a year. Same scenario, same thing. And so we went through this agency. And you got to sign contracts. We did it all virtually. I didn't have to go to California to do it. We did it all e-sign and all that stuff like that. I actually talked with the agent. And I was a little afraid, a little afraid. But being that my husband had already worked with that agent before, that's why I went through with it without having to get a lawyer, because he already went through it before, because he was getting paid on it way before I ever thought about it. And then they saw what I was doing. And then they was like, well, your wife, she want to come on and do it? And it was legit. It was legit. They pay you. You don't come out of pocket. The point is, these agencies, when you're the talent and you're the content creator, I have never seen a case where, for me, being a content creator that gets paid, I have never seen a case where I have to come in as the talent and I have to pay you before I can get paid. I have never seen that happen. Now, with that being said, I don't know I have had people say they had to pay $2,400 to the agent. I said, really? Now, mind you, I've been in this arena over 10 years, so things may have changed, but I have never experienced that in my life. So I tell people to be leery when you start going with these agencies and they start saying money. If it's not a school, that's a little different, because they do have agencies that are part agency, part school. So you have to pay to be a student to do certain stuff. That ain't what I was doing. I was like, just like an actor, you have a agent that go out and pitch you, and then you get paid. Of course, they're getting paid based upon you getting paid, but you ain't putting no money in their hand. It's based upon you working that they get paid, and you get your money too. And then they pay you. They pay you either through your bank account or through a check or however it is. Some people like to get paid through PayPal. Some people like to get paid through their bank. Some people like to get a paper check. You decide however it is based upon that agency rules and specification on how they pay their talent, content creator. Because once you start doing that, you are called the talent or creator, right? I have never seen a case. So I'm seeing people on TikTok and all over these places talking about, I had to pay $2,400. I'm like, since when do the agency make the talent pay? The agency paid the talent, and the agent gets money based upon the talent getting hired, and they get their piece and you get your profit. And the talent make more. than the agent. The agent get a percentage of what you make, whether it's 10%, 15%, 30%, 5%, whatever. You get $800, they get 10%. So that's if you have a 10% thing. They get $80, 10%. So that's why they book you on so many different things, because they get more money for the more booking, and then the percentage can go up, all kind of different things. So I'm like, that's why I tell everybody who just starting this content creation as a job or whatever, you have to get you some legal help. It's so hard for us to be, because everybody is so good with this technology now, these scammers. You have to go get some help, because the stuff look good. It looked very legitimate. Like I saw an email the other day that threw me off. I thought it was real. But some say, Tina, go through your 7 steps of checking how to check if it's a scam or legitimate. And if they don't make it to 7, then something ain't right. So this agency actually made it to 5. And I was like, I didn't see the red flag until I got to the 5th thing on my checklist. And I was like, dog. Now, I've been doing this a long time. And they almost got me. So I think about people who just starting out. So be careful. These opportunities do exist, and it exists, and it's very plentiful. But with that being said, just like with social media, it has good side, have a bad side. Opportunists and people who look to take advantage. Same thing in this industry, because really, when you think about the law and content creation and digital marketing and all this stuff, it's really no law really around it, because when the forefathers, that's what they called them, so I'm just doing correct terminology, when they did the Constitution, there was no internet. There was no digital books and currency and internet. So our law has to catch up with modern times. That's what that's how my friend, which is a lawyer, explained to me. She was like, there is no law for most of this stuff that's out here, because there wasn't digital internet or nothing back then, and now it's exploded, right? So now legislation and all that is making different things now in order to protect people in some cases, but you're going to have to be your own protection and do your own due diligence no matter what it is that you're doing. Okay, when you're dealing with social media, because this is a real legitimate way of income and a job or a career. I look at it as a career because I choose to do this, but also it's a lot of things that I had to learn the hard way. I really did. I had to learn the hard way, and I don't want you to lose money. I don't want you to lose your self-esteem, your confidence. I don't want you to even lose your ability to be able to love people like that, because I got to the place where I don't trust people. People are so shady. That why they be lying, why they be trying to scam. Like, it was really rough, right? Because I generally think people are good by nature, but then when I ran into all these other type of people, I was like, dawg, people really do this? All this hard work it took. So with that being said, don't be like me and learn from trial and error in this situation. Learn from my mistakes. Then I'm being so honest and open and transparent. Most people will not even tell you this, especially not for free. They won't tell you for free. They might tell you for a fee, but they won't tell you for free. Be careful. It is many opportunities out here. And if you have a desire to be a content creator, you can. You don't need to have some special education, some special letters in front or behind your name to be an influencer. You just start building and start your community with an influence of one person. You can be an influencer with an audience of 1, because that audience of 1 is generally going to build to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, because you're going to find your people after a while, right? And it's businesses that are looking for micro content creators more so than people who have 1 million followers, because our audiences are more engaged. All right. Just like you, they're more engaged, right? And so if you're creating content and you've been doing it for years and you're not monetized yet, I want you to really look into how can you monetize it safely and easy. And if you don't really understand what's going on, get you some help. Okay. I would encourage everybody. I am not an agent. I just share my personal experiences as having agents and different stuff like that, and also being duped more than one time because I didn't know. I'm just sharing with you my experiences. Of course, with everything, you need to do your own due diligence and do your own independent research. Tanya said, I appreciate you for sharing. You're welcome. Yes, yes, yes. So best advice for a zero track record, but want to go high level clients. You're gonna have to start building, Red. Start building now, because you can't go from doing zero to, I say, zero to hero. You have to build. You cannot take the escalator on the journey of entrepreneurship. You have to take the steps. Okay. You can't expect to get on the escalator, on the stairs, and for it to glide you up to the top without going through the pains, without going through the challenges and struggles that's going to make you stronger to build resilience. So if you have a desire to have high ticket clients, number one, you need to start following people who are legitimately have these type of clients, and you need to start following them. And the people or the genre that you want to do, you start finding people within that genre. And then you start reading, getting information. If you cannot afford a mentor or a coach right now, or afford to go to a certain class or a school for whatever it is that you do, then you start using what I call, what we own now, YouTube University. There are a lot of content creators like myself that give out quality free advice or share our experiences of what we went through, what we do know. We're not claiming to be an expert on whatever the thing that we're sharing. We're just sharing our information so that either you can avoid the pitfalls that we went through, or you can start building whatever it is that you want to build authentically. Because truth be told, when I started out, I had like an audience of 100 people, and most of them was friends, families, and schoolmates. So you know they're not fitting to buy nothing from you. They're just gonna watch you and just say, I knew it wasn't gonna work. That's all it was. And I had to generally keep creating content. I mean, ad nauseum creating content before I was able to find my flow, if that makes sense. And then once I found my flow, found out what they like, and start getting people that did not know me to start engaging and commenting, I realized that what they wanted to hear, you know? And so I just kept building upon that. Everybody, Red, start with a track record of zero. Everybody. I did too. Everybody. So the best thing is you just need to get started. What is it that you want to do? And then you get started, okay? And understand you need to give yourself grace, because you're going to fail at some things. Some things you're going to be fantastic, awesome, amazing. You don't need no learning curve. You're going to be boom. But the bulk of it, when it's something new, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. And you're going to have to be comfortable with making mistakes and not being so hard on yourself, and surrounding yourself with people who have the information that you need, who don't mind sharing the information with you, or you start investing in yourself to be able to get the right people around you and reading the right books, watching the right videos, and also never giving up, because it's not going to be easy. You're going to start, when you first start, you're going to be high on, and you're going to be enthusiastic, you're going to be so excited. But then you put out your first offer and no one buys. Crickets. You send out your first email and the click-through rate is 1% or 0 because no one opened it. You're gonna feel like, what did I do wrong? You know, it's not anything that you're doing wrong. It's just that people have to see you being consistent and showing up. Okay. The reason why people listen to me and follow me is because people who've been following me since 2009, they see me. I've been doing lives since 2009 on social media, right? They be like, this girl right here, they nickname me Miss Consistent. That's what people call me in the industry. They be like, there it is. That's Miss Consistent right there. One thing you can be for sure, Tina gonna show up, whether she look like this or she all beats with the face. I'm gonna show up, okay? And so, and I'm gonna be honest. I'll be like, oh, I'm doing something new. Oh, I love this right here. Do this company, blah, 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 blah. Then I come back and I'll be like, that didn't work out. You know, at first it was all right, but then after I was in there 90 days in, it was like, it didn't work for me. I didn't like what I see. I said, but it didn't work for me, but it may work for you. So I'm very honest and transparent. People have saw me fall completely on my face. All right. But I get back up, dust myself off, and like, yeah, so I made a mistake. Yeah, that was a bad move. That was a bad money move. I thought it was a good money move. Yeah, that was a hard lesson to learn. It hit me hard in my pockets. But I learned, yeah, that was a bad contract. I felt like I was an indentured servant. Because, honey, I couldn't get out that contract until I got me like a federal lawyer, right? Like, we had to go like, oh, man, I was so sick. So stressed out. But the lawyer worked it out and got me out of this crazy contract. Like, and I trusted the person. I'm like, really though? You did me like that? Why you lying? You know, so anywho, was able to get out of that one. But all of them you can't get out of. So, you know, we got Sanchez in the building. Great day. Thank you for the compliment. We got Bella in the building, said, on another platform. Hey, we got Broly 630 said, what's up, set? Oh, that's so sweet. We got Pierce Eagle. Hello, shorty. Yeah, I'm short. Who told you? We have Lily. Can I get a shout out? What's up, Lily? How you doing, girl? We got Red. He gave me the diamond. He gave me diamond. Thank you. Or it might be Jules. Okay, so I'm saying how you keep cool when you see a goofy channel making crazy money, but a real channel struggling. I'd be mad. Let me tell you something. That is something, Red. But even with the goofy channel, Red, they're giving their audience what they want. That's the kind of content their audience want. And that's the kind of content that's helping them get paid. And so the thing is, I'm going to be honest with you. Things that are more positive driven, without all the glitz, the glamour, and the gimmicks, you know, and gimmicks don't mean it's bad. Gimmicks can mean that it could just be ba-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Like you said, goofy, silly kind of things, right? Comedy, silly kind of things, right? They don't make it bad, but it do make you feel some type of way when you know that you are building something, taking the time to share information that will truly change somebody's life. You're going to have to learn to kind of put blinders on, because you're going to see that. It's just how it is. People are more drawn to entertainment versus how can I change my life? It's a certain population that's interested in changing their life. And you're going to have to put, if you notice that it bothers you, just unsubscribe, get them out your recommendations so you can't see it, so that you can hyper focus on what you need to do, Red. And like me, like we have a blend of edutainment. We entertain and we educate. Like right now I'm educating. But there's a group of people that don't want to hear this. They just want to come in and be negative and all this stuff like that. And then some people just don't want to see it anyway. You're going to have to learn to have a thick skin and keep doing what you know that you're supposed to be doing, even when no one else is watching, because eventually the right people are going to start watching, subscribing, supporting, and you will eventually start earning the income that not only you need to have, but you deserve to have. Now, it took me, honestly, I've been on social media since 2009. Now, I was not monetized on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all these places in the beginning. I wasn't monetized on this stuff, right? I mean, it took a long time. I was not, okay? But how I did, see, you got to learn how to monetize yourself. So the skill that I've been able to build with God's help is that I was able to monetize myself on these platforms that would not monetize me or would not allow me the opportunity to be monetized. So you do that with sponsorships. You do that with ad placement. You do that with link drops. Link, Link. So say, for example, I have a link. Someone pay you $25 or $50 to drop their link, a permanent link in the description of your video where you say, hey, check out this business XYZ, and they pay you for that placement there, right? And you can choose whether you want it to be a permanent or you want it to be temporary. Some people do temporary, 24 hours. I don't like that. If someone pay me for advertisement, I just let it ride. I call it a baked ad. A baked ad is something that even after they pay, they're still going to be receiving the advertisement because I'm not taking it out of my show. I'm not taking it out of my episode. I'm not taking it off of my social media. People might have to scroll to find it, but I'm still leaving it. I'm not changing the link after 24 hours. If you pay $25, $50, I'm leaving it. If I put it there in 2024, it's going to be there in 2045. You know, it's because I'm not moving it, right? And so, so it's different things that you can do. I also did a lot of affiliate marketing, what I was telling you guys about before with partnering with companies or joining their affiliate program, because when you are an affiliate, you do not have to have thousands of followers. You can literally just start a social media today. And if they have an affiliate program, you can start your affiliate. You can fill out the information and become an affiliate for a lot of companies without having a large following, period. And then when people click on the link, and they purchase, then you get a small kickback based upon whatever that company offers at the time. And so that's how I was making I monetized myself. So I was on these platforms, but these platforms didn't monetize me. I monetized myself. So I did a sponsored episode for companies. I would do brand ambassadorship. You would see me wearing their merch. You would see me doing different things for them, and I got paid for that. You will see me doing affiliate marketing, referral marketing, where they pay me X amount of dollars to create a video. Now, I don't do all businesses. Like, I turn down a lot of businesses. Some things, if I'm saying something about health and wellness, it's because I'm more than likely I'm using the product myself. I tend to kind of like get away from health and wellness because I like to test that stuff out. But if it's just a shirt or a product that, like something that we buy, like a light or something, that. So I would do videos. So they'll pay me X amount of dollars to create a video to give my personal opinion, my honest review about how I feel. I would do box reveals where companies or independent business owners will send me their products, and just for me just to open it on my social media to say and show and give my personal opinion about how I felt about this. Because I tell people, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to disrespect your product or service, even if it's not something that I particularly feel like it benefits me. I'm going to be positive about it and not disrespectful, but I'm not going to lie. So if someone tell me how you feel about it, I'm going to be honest. I'm like, well, I feel like this, but I do feel that it's a group of people that this product or service will be ideal for, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to look for a way to be positive, honestly, because I have to live with myself at the end of the day. I have turned down so many great deals because I value my ethics and morals. It's certain things that I will not do. I don't care how much money is on the line. I have turned down a lot of money because I refuse to mislead people. I refuse to mislead people intentionally, like mislead. Some people, sometimes you do make mistakes, but I'm talking about intentionally mislead people in order for them to do something so that you can benefit. I think that's dirty money. So I don't do it. And so I don't do every brand thing. I don't collab with every business. I don't let money move me to do something because it's a lot of money. It's about the principle of it for me, the morals, the ethics of value. It's certain things that I just won't touch. And I have been an Amazon reviewer for a very, very long time, over 7 years now. And I have people that like, if I send you this product and I pay you, will you give me a 5-star rating? I'm like, no. They was like, what? But I'm gonna pay you X amount of dollars. You create this video and I send you the products for free. I said, you can send me the products for free. You can pay me, but I'm not guaranteeing that I'm giving you a 5-star rating because I have not seen nor used your product. And I'm going to be honest. Okay? I'm not going to be disrespectful because I don't believe in that. But I'm not going to go out and just lie to people saying, oh, this is the best thing ever. I remember it was a company. My phone is about to die. Hold on for 1 minute. Let's see. I remember it was a company. That wanted me. It was a weight loss company. And the only thing they wanted me to do was to come on and say that this product is amazing. And they wanted me, the exercise equipment. They want me to wear the exercise stuff, little outfit. And say how amazing this product is and you should buy this. I'm not going to say what it is because you'll know what it is because it's a highly publicized thing. And they wanted me to, say I lost weight using this product. I said, I'm not doing that. That's a flat out lie. Number one, I don't need to use your product because I don't need to lose no weight. I work hard to try to keep my weight on because I have a very high metabolism. Number two, I'm not going to lie telling people that I lost weight with your product when I know good and well my body was already like this before I met you. And number three, that's against my morals, ethics, and standards. And you can keep your money because I don't do that. I do not sell my soul, sell myself for no money and lying to people. That's just not what I do because I got to answer to God for everything that I do. And I'm not doing it. And so they was like, but it's just a simple video. We want you to be our endorser. I said, I'm not endorsing telling no lie. That's a flat out lie. I said, and then people do research, they'll see that I always been slim. They be like, wait a minute. This girl always been slim her whole life. Now she up here talking about she lost the weight. I said, I built my brand on ethics, morals, trust, and values. Being transparent and telling the truth even when it hurts. Telling the truth. I'm not going to do that because my conscience would not allow me to do that. And so I turned it down. And I turned down a lot of things like that because once you start building up an influence and having people following you, you get so many things coming your way and they be wanting you to use it in the wrong way. And I refuse to do it. Good said, that's my phone number. My passive income is $500K a month. Congratulations. Yes, I'm still talking because I have the gift of gab. Oh, no, I don't know. Okay, you say you spent $25K? I don't know. Tanya said, gratitude for holding your integrity. Yeah, honey, because I got to answer to God for everything I do. And so I'm like, no, we not going to do that. I remember I had a $30,000 offer. And the only thing I had to do was one video. A $30,000 offer. And then another time I had a show. They wanted me to executive produce a show. And run there because I told you guys like I help build and scale up shows. I start shows, right? And I be in the back, executive producer. I be out there engineering, doing different things. You don't see me, but I'm doing the work. And this person wanted me to work on the show. I think it was like $30K to start and then $50K. I mean, just to start it and then walk away from it. But when I found out what those people was about and the background of who they were, I was like, nope. I don't want no parts of what you doing. But we'll give you more. We'll double it. We'll triple it. I'm like, I will do without. No, thank you. Because I don't like the energy that you're putting out. And I don't know what you stand for, but I know that I don't stand for that. And I don't, even though you guys wouldn't have even known that I was a part of the project because I was working in the back. But my conscience, I'm not putting out that kind of stuff. I'm not going to be a part of giving them a platform to share that mess. Okay. No. No. And so, because I got to live with myself at the end of the day. And they was like, you got to learn to separate. This is what some people told me. You got to learn to separate. It's just a business. It's just a project. You can't have you cutting down the money that you're gonna make because you got all these principles. I said, that sounds like a you problem. Why does my principles, my values, my ethics, my integrity, my standards bother you? You can do the job, but I'm not doing it. But they specifically asked for you. They won't even work with nobody but you. I'm like, well, that sounds like a you problem. Because I'm not working with them. Because what they're putting out in the world is not a positive impact. It's not love and light. It is darkness. And I am not a part of the dark. I am only a part of the light with God. I am not doing that. So, deuces. Woo. Oh my God, I'm not even going to read that. Woo-wee. Anyway, you guys, I'm getting ready to go. Because I got work to do. I hope this video gave you guys some motivation, some insight, and all that good stuff. And I hope that you learn from some of the things that I had to learn the hard way. I hope that by me being honest and transparent with you, that number one, you don't give up. Number two, no matter how successful a person is, we all make mistakes. All of us make mistakes. Now, we might not all admit the mistakes that we made, but I'm going to admit it. Because every mistake, every failure that I have ever had brought me to where I'm at now. The person, the success that I am now. And I feel that if we're just a little bit more transparent and being a little bit more vulnerable in certain situations, it could help people, and I don't want you to get discouraged because many times I was like, I'm going to quit. I cannot tell you. I cried. I was in a fetal position crying. I was like, God, I don't even know. Like, I don't know about this. This is just too much. This is just too much, I don't want you guys to give up. If that is something that you know that it's your purpose to do. Anytime you are on a purpose-driven mission on your life, you're gonna run into different situations. And I just want you to know that it's normal. It's normal. It's normal. You can't have success. Well, let's say this right here. You cannot have a testimony without being tested. Let me say that again. You cannot have a testimony without being tested. So you cannot have success without having failure. They all go together. And I just want you guys to understand that, because so many people now want the success, but they do not want the fail. Who is nobody that really want to fail at anything, but I'm just telling you, it's something that it goes together like peanut butter and jelly, like meatballs and spaghetti. It's something that just goes together, you know, and you can't have one without the other, because if you could, it'll be a whole lot more people doing entrepreneurship, running their own businesses, having a more independent way of thinking and moving in the world if it was that easy. I just feel like we need to be in this time. I agree with what Cat Williams said. This quote, he said that 2024 is the year of truth. And I feel like I wanted to tell all my truth, okay? Even though I have said this many times before, but I'm not so much on YouTube. I used to be on Facebook doing all this. And so I said, I'm going to go on where I know it's 2.47 billion people every single month. And the right people will find this video and be able to get the blessing that they need in order to keep going. And so that's why I chose YouTube to share this extended version of me going deeper on why I do what I do and how I do what I do and what happened. You know, how I had lost everything, had to start over again more than one time. You know, feeling not confident, all the different things, right? And so I just want to share that with you guys on today. But with all that being said, I found my voice. And if you haven't found yours yet, it's not too late. Make it your mission to find out your voice, your purpose, and then you will have the kind of peace that I have. That even when people try to permeate your peaceful environment, they can't. Because you have your love, you have your light, you have God, you have peace of mind. And you just, it's a peace that I can't explain. It's only people who truly feel this peace that is, I can't explain it. But everybody has the ability to create the peaceful mind environment that they want. And on that note, you guys, it is Wisdom Wednesday. You guys have a great, amazing rest of your day. Thank you for everyone who hit that like button, that hit that notification bell, and also hit that subscribe button. Today, we made history on YouTube. We literally have 37 likes. Yes, 37 likes. Thanks to all of you and you and you and you and you on this video. So thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for all the ones who are positive, and even thank you for the ones who are not so positive, because even though you might say negative things, but it helps the algorithms and push the information out more so that the right people can find this content. If you have a suggestion on any type of topics that you would like for me to discuss next, I will. My goal is to start bringing people on to have different conversations. Now, it will not be as long as what I'm doing right now. I don't plan to, but at least bringing you these more laid back conversations that we having on this CTR Media Network lives, which I feel that I actually like this a little bit more than doing my my award nominated show, because it is really real, right? Like, my show is real, but I'm just saying, it is no realer than this when you just in your regular clothes. It's just a pureness of it when you showing up like this versus all made up and all that other kind of stuff. But the Tina Raymond Show is really taking another leap of faith, pivoting to entrepreneurship lifestyle, and the goal is for it to be able to give you those answers that you need from real life people that you probably see in the grocery store that really living in, and they're being raw, they're being honest about how it was and all that stuff like that. So Tanya said, I'm new to you. Oh, you are. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, and thank you so much for not only watching, but engaging with us. And thank you to everyone that tuned in today. Hopefully, I will be back on tomorrow. My goal is to go live every day, but that may not happen every day. I said that's a goal. That's a goal. I may not, but I really wanted to be live early in the morning because I realized that many of you have to go to a job that you don't want to work. Many children have to go to school and deal with things and issues and problems that they don't want to deal with. Many people are stuck into relationships that they don't want to be in. Many people don't have any friends, people who they can really call a friend. They don't have anyone that they can turn to for just conversation, sound advice. They don't have in their life people that are positive. They have more negative driven people. And so I wanted to come live so that the first thing that you see and hear is a regular everyday person that happens to have an influence with what I do. By any means, I am not the biggest influencer in the world, no, but I have with my audience, and everybody, whether it's an influence of one or millions, we all have it. But I wanted your day, if you're traveling to work, if you're traveling to school, if you're just in the house by yourself, I didn't want you to be alone because so many times people do things when they're alone, when they feel like nobody can hear them, when they feel like nobody appreciates them. I want you to know that I appreciate you. I want to know that your life is worth living. I want you to know that you can achieve your dreams. I want you to know that just because you failed at this doesn't mean you're going to fail at that. I want you to understand that everything that you want to do, everything that you want to become is already within you. And the most important thing I want you to understand and know is that you are enough. Let me say that again. You are enough. You are enough. Period. Don't let nobody fool you. Tanya, my show is the Tina Ramsay Show. And you can Google it. It's Ramsay. Actually, you can look and see it featured, one of the podcasting shows that's featured on the homepage of CTR. And I encourage you to follow all the different podcast shows because they do some of the things similar, but they do it a different kind of way. And so my show shifting for season 11. We're doing events and different stuff now, but our official season 11, we just ended season 10. We ended it, I think, Friday. I think that's the last episode that's going to roll out. And then we're going to do some replays and all that stuff like that. But season 11 starts September 5th. And we have 6, 7, and 8 figure earners. And I am being very intentional on the guests that I'm having on the show because they know even more than me, way more than me. Like everybody that I have on the show, they're not on my same level with thought process and everything like that. I made sure that I found people that was higher than me, that knew more than me, so that we can bring value. All right. I don't like to surround myself in a room with people where I'm the smartest one in the room all the time. Now, I do be in a room where I'm the smartest one or among the smartest people in the room. But I'm working, and they paid me to be that, to be in there because they strategically say, hey, we want you because you are the expert in XYZ. I do that for working. But when I'm in regular rooms and I'm creating rooms for myself, honey, I'm not the smartest one in the room on purpose. Because I believe that in order for you to expand, in order for you to grow, you should not be the smartest person in the room, every room that you're in. If you are the smartest person in the room, in every room that you're in the wrong rooms, because how can you grow? So everybody that's coming on the show for season 11 are way up here. They like way over me, like way better with financial, way better with entrepreneurship, way better with everything. Why? Is because I'm being very intentional because I wanted to let you guys see, hear, and feel what it is and what it takes to be entrepreneur. I want you to have a greater chance of success because these people are willing to share. Why? Because they're making the money. They don't have to worry about, oh, I want to share this. Like some people, like I'm not like that. Oh, I don't want to share this because I charge for this. and I won't make no money. We ain't worrying about that when you at this level. We want to give back. Like, okay, this is what you have to do. Like right now, what person will go through and read their first chapter for free and explain it online when it's for sale? Not too many people. Okay. And so I'm bringing on people who don't mind sharing quality information along with their experiences so that you guys can grow. Ooh, we have some good interviews too. Oh my goodness. Ooh, they're so good. On that note, have a great day. Talk to you later. And thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you for all the comments and encouraging words. And hopefully I will see you guys on tomorrow. I hope this made you guys smile and realize how amazingly awesome you guys are. Love you to pieces. Talk to you later.